This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Locked On Reds POSTCAST. I am your host, Tim Daniel. I have been covering the Cincinnati Reds for about 5 years in podcast terms, whether it is through the Riverfront or Late Night Reds, and I am now so happy to be here with you all on Locked On Reds. Obviously, would love to be doing this in a much better situation than today, but we are going to get through it all together, people. Together, we're going to talk about this, and hey, here is what all we're talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, we're going to talk about Hunter Greene shining today. What an outstanding outing from Hunter Greene. We're going to talk about Jeime Candelario and Candy crushing today with 3 big RBI and a nice bounce back game. And we're going to go through the question that we all are wondering. Why Ian Gibaut to close the game? It's 3-2. What are we doing? All right, so Terry Francona obviously doing a little David Bell-esque movement there. So we are going to talk about that as well. But let's go ahead, guys, and let's start positive. We'll work down. We'll get to Gibaut, and we'll vent together. But let's start at the top. Let's start with Hunter Greene today, guys. How about Hunter Greene coming out looking like he was a man with a plan and had some vengeance in his eyes? Obviously, last year, an incredible end of the season, a 2.75 ERA, an all-star year. And Hunter Greene picked right back up where he left off with that as well. I thought today, I think we all did, he pounded the strike zone. He was really physical with the ball today, and he battled, man. So you saw his first time to the lineup, just striking everybody out. The fastball looked beautiful. He was throwing it wherever he wanted, whenever he wanted. It looked like it couldn't be hit. I thought the way he used his pitches, the way he used his slider, I thought was really, really great. I thought the way that he, put his fastball wherever he wanted to, like I said, that was awesome. What I really was impressed with is I wanted to see particularly, so he goes for the first time in the order, he gets everybody. And the strikeouts were great. So he had 8 today. FanDuel had you at an over 6.5 strikeouts today. I hope you took it like I did, because there was a pretty easy money, it looked like today. So shout out Hunter Greene on that as well for winning us all a little cash. Hunter Greene's stat line, bear with me, I have it right here in front of me, was 5 innings today, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 8 strikeouts, and just 1 walk. That'll do, guys. I mean, that's absolutely what we'll do. And this is what you want to see from your ace. We all talked about the Reds rotation through the offseason. We felt like that is the strength of the team. And he was awesome. He was fantastic. So we have a lot of that situation there where he just looked like he couldn't miss. And it was perfect how he just kind of, like I said, he mixed his fastball, he mixed his slider, he had guys off trick. But what really, really jumped out to me the most was after that 4th inning when he got behind, things got a little away from him. Heliot Ramos works that at bat, and that was really, really solid. I mean, he worked 12 at bats, he followed off a bunch of fastballs, and then got the best of them. That's going to happen. I really like the Hunter took a second, stepped off, took a breath, brought himself back in. And then he went back to it. And the 5th inning, when he goes back out there, was really, really impressive. I know he didn't have any strikeouts in that inning, but got three outs with trusting his defense. Used a little bit more of his off-speed stuff there. I thought that was just a really, really good sign. This is a guy who we saw why he was the 2nd overall pick when he was drafted, right? This is the guy that we all have been waiting to see. And to see him pick up where he left off from last year today was outstanding. I thought that his pitch count looked really, really good until that inning. I thought that his intelligence with this pitching was really great. I thought his pickoff move looked pretty good today. I know he didn't get Lee when he tried to get him there, but I thought that was really, really solid as well. This was what you want in his situation. I feel like this is the beginning of a great year for Hunter Greene. I think we all feel that way as well. This is kind of going to be what we think is going to be his super breakout year, right? Last year was a really nice start. And now we're looking at what we can see from him on the situation where this is going to be the guy we look at for everything. So looking through here, I feel like you guys are all feeling the same way I am about Hunter Greene. I feel like we guys all feel pretty solid. So we've got we've got a few different comments here as well. I know you guys are all feeling the way I am about this game. So Jace talks about Hunter Greene's fastball location was unreal, just old school in your face hardball. Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be, I think this is what we have for now. So it kind of, though, on the bad side of things, not that this was his fault by any means. If you remember, there was a lot of those games, right? A couple seasons ago where he would pitch really well and they would lose, or there'd be games when he would be, they would lose games because he had a bad inning. I really like that he found a way to bounce back and really collect himself to get that fifth inning going, like I said. So really, really happy with the outing there from Hunter Greene. You guys have any other thoughts you want me to throw on there on Hunter Greene? Please go ahead and send them in real quick. Obviously, a bummer of a day as the Cincinnati Reds lose 6-4 at Great American Ballpark to start the season in Terry Francona's managerial debut. Disappointing in the sense that I felt like Hunter Greene deserved a lot better than what Ian Gibaut gave him. Obviously, we'll get to Gibaut here in a little bit as well. But this was going to be one of those days where things should have gone better than they did for him. And obviously, we see how this goes. So he'll pick up the ball again in a couple days against the Texas Rangers. So see how if he can pick up off that as well and build off that with that, and we move forward as well. But coming up in our next segment, guys, I'm going to talk about a name I did think I was going to talk about for good things. I'm going to go ahead and discuss the day that the Candyman had today. We are talking Jeime Candelario, the highlight at bat of Great American Ballpark's opening day. Was that the name you guys thought you'd be talking about? We'll talk about him and more right after this. Get the supplies you need from the site made for skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code S-H-5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get on the action like never before. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks deals on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down the nets. For me, I use mine on the Cincinnati Reds. I really like Elly De La Cruz, 30 home runs this year. I feel like that's a nice bet. And I want to talk a little about Elly here in the next segment as well and what he did. But this is going to be the thing. Elly De La Cruz, $5 in FanDuel, get the 200 extra bucks, 30 homers. It's happening this year, guys. I promise you. With tournament games happening almost every day, there's always something to be excited and to bet on. The FanDuel app is simple to use, and when I win, I get paid instantly. No wasting around. So visit FanDuel.com and get into college actions all tournament long. Friendly reminder, we are here after every single Reds game here on the Locked On Reds postcast. And if you are looking to get your regular conversation on your day-to-day basis with a deep dive, not just what happened in the regular game today, check out Steve and Jeff here on the Locked On Reds podcast, as well as they'll tell you what the game really means compared to a daily podcast like mine, where I just get through the box score and talk about that. But let's talk the offensive side of things. And I'm going to highlight it with Jeime Candelario, but I'm also going to throw in a couple names in there as well I want to talk about. But let's start with Candelario. It was really the man offensively. Had 3 times getting on base today. 2 huge hits, the 3 RBI early in the game when the Reds took their 3-0 lead. And a couple things that really jumped out first. Obviously, came into camp in pretty good shape. Missed a bit of camp, as we know, in spring training because of his tooth issue, and then managed to kind of get going there at the end. And today, I thought gave 2 really huge at bats. Was 2 for 3, 3 RBI, a walk, and of course a strikeout. But the 2 for 3 were huge. So in the first inning, Elly goes against Logan Webb, gets down 0-2, draws the walk. Candelario comes in, a couple of batters later, and after Gavin Lux, and then knocks him in for the first run of the season. That was huge. And then in the second at bat where the Reds are up 1-0, he's got Ellie on base. He's got Friedel. I mean, not Friedel. I apologize. And he's got Friedel, and he has holy crap. Gavin Lux on base. Sorry, guys. Wow, that was bad of me. And he also gets those guys in on a nice RBI double as well. Gives them a 3-0 lead. So, a couple things that jumped out. And again, we are talking about one baseball game here. I am well aware, but I was really shocked by how much more comfortable and confident he looked. Also, just probably maybe looked more durable. I know he missed a couple plays at third base, but I can live with that to start the year as early in the season. But I thought the way that he just was comfortable using the bat, trusted his swing, went through the motions, was really, really awesome. And the way that he kind of hit those two balls, the first one kind of bouncing through, and then that next one where he has the nice hit in the gap to kind of bring those 2 runs in. This is the Jeime Candelario the Reds probably thought they were getting. Now, is he going to do this for the next 161? Who knows? But what they got from him today was definitely neat. It looks like it's going to be needed for the year. I was very impressed with him. I thought he hit the ball really well. He gave the Reds that much needed bounce there in the middle of the lineup. So I want to make sure we gave him his love there as well, because I thought that was really, really great. Let's talk about the rest of the offense. There's definitely some good, some bad. Christian Encarnacion-Strand, 2 hits today. That's 2 for 4. Hit the ball up the middle. That is a great sign for the season. You heard Barry Larkin talking about it on the broadcast that if he just makes contact with the ball, anything can happen with his power. The fact that he was hitting the ball right back where it was coming from, I thought was terrific. He really kind of made you feel much more confident and comfortable. Obviously, a lot of people had questions after he missed majority of last season with this wrist injury and hit the ball really well in spring, as we saw. Another FanDuel, I talked about this on the show with Jeff and Steve on Monday. Another FanDuel bet that I thought was kind of shocking for his over-under was 13.5 home runs. I feel like that is easy money that you should take in. And his first 2 hits of the year looked like just that. Just really kind of hit the ball right back where it came from. That was great. And I know you guys are here to talk, as always, about Elly De La Cruz. 1 of 3, 2 RBIs. 2 runs scored, a walk, did have a strikeout, but I'm going to be okay with that strikeout with how he had the ball over well. So that first at bat against Logan Webb, he's down 0-2 and works a walk out of it. That's impressive. I thought that was extremely impressive. It just looked like a new patience, confidence level, having his, a full season underneath him. Obviously on the left side of the plate where he probably is most comfortable. I thought that was really nice as well. But the fact that he just kind of stayed with it, he didn't have some wild swing to get himself out and give the at bat away, and just kept it going, was great there. This is going to be the beginning of the next step of Elly De La Cruz, right? And then the second at bat gets down again in the count. I think it was 1-2 at this point, and then he gets the hit, which leads to his second run of the game. I thought that was awesome. If this is what we're getting from Elly De La Cruz, and look, we didn't get stolen bases or homers today from him, that will definitely come with time. But I'm going to be excited about that. I also want to make sure we mention the team in general before we get to the bad of the offense. 4 of 7 with runners in scoring position. That was something that last year, again, we're talking about one game. I get it. But that was something that last year we know this team really struggled with. This was something that really is going to be needed moving forward. This team, they need to find a way to manufacture runs. And today they were great with in runners in scoring position. So I will take that as well. On the bad side of things, I'm not necessarily going to call them bad because of the situations. Maybe this isn't fair. Spencer Steer today 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He's kind of catching up. Obviously, he's a guy that probably should be on the IL. But I thought today, obviously, as we all saw, wasn't his best day. I'm not worried about it. I think it's going to take him some time to get going. Like I said, he missed a lot of spring with the shoulder injury. As a guy that had to battle his way to get in the roster spot to strictly DH. So if he ends up hurting the team for a little while, maybe we have a conversation. But that one, it is what it is. Matt McLain today, 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Not worried. I thought at the end of the game, just missed that, but that had a really nice hit. That might be one of those things we say that ball's out of the park in July, but just died. It's going to happen. Thought Matty McLain had some good at-bats. I think he's going to get to a point where he's hitting those balls out for sure. And then I also want to make sure I take a moment to mention the legend, obviously, guys, that is Gavin Lux in his debut, 1 for 3 with a walk, had some really good at-bats, had a bad shredding blunder, and I think that will be addressed very quickly, and you won't see that happen much more. Also want to shout out Jacob Hurtubise for manufacturing a run there at the end of the game from Friedel, getting his at-bat with Friedel's 2 hits as well. So offensively, they get 8 hits as a team, really should have won the game, but we know they didn't lose the game because of their offense. And we know they really didn't lose the game fully because of their bullpen. They lost this game, guys, obviously, because Terry Francona made a David Bell decision, guys. Ian Gibaut came into this game today. And before we get to Ian Gibaut, I want to make sure I mention Scott Barlow, Emilio Pagan, and Tony Santillan were awesome. Each had an inning. Each should give up a run or a walk. Each had 2 strikeouts. So 3 runs from 3 innings from the bullpen before he comes in. No hits, no walks, and 6 Ks. That'll do. Then Ian Gibaut comes in, guys. And, well, why is my question here? So I see all the comments. You guys feel the way I do. This was rough. Ian Gibaut was the guy who a lot of people feel, us, myself included, was the last guy picked to be on the roster. Once Alexis Diaz was not good to go, it was Ian Gibaut coming in there to pitch the game. And did anyone out there, when they saw that he was coming in for the 9th inning, go, all right, cool? No, none of us did. And you hear that, you hear Barry talk about that in the broadcast where he said, Terry Francona really liked that he throws strikes, and he really liked how he pitched in spring. And it's like, oh my gosh, it is David Bell all over again. And it looked bad from jump. I know he got his first out, and it just kind of got worse from down there. So 2/3 innings, 4 earned runs, 3 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and a tank. Here's my big question. If the Cincinnati Reds, this team we all love probably way too much, went and got some guys right for this bullpen. They went and got Taylor Rogers. They went and got these guys to kind of stack stuff. Scott Barlow, for example. I know Scott Barlow pitched earlier in the game. And I understand you're down to Alexis Diaz, who has been trusted in the past in this circumstance, but doesn't seem like he's going to be trusted for a little while in this instance. Why is Ian Gibaut getting the game when Taylor Rogers is an option, when Graham Ashcraft is an option? Why is Ian Gibaut the guy getting the ball there? It didn't look like he wanted to have the ball there. I don't think he really loved that he was the guy that got called on. It certainly didn't look like he was comfortable or confident either. It did not make any sense to me at all. And it went as much as we all expected. So I don't know why he picks Ian Gibaut there when he has these other options. I hope that is not a situation. Look, if you've caught me on Locked On Reds in the past, you know how I feel about the term closer. I hate it. But if they're going to have a guy come in to get 3 outs in the 9th inning, and it's going to be that important to a team, it better not be Ian Gibaut, is what I'm going to say there. Sam Ball comes in and obviously cleans it up as much as he possibly can, just getting his strikeout to end the game as well. So that is where we'll leave it. At the end of the day, no matter what, the Cincinnati Reds start out 0-1. San Francisco Giants win 6-4. The Giants go out with 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Cincinnati Reds 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. But guys, the beauty of baseball is you live to play another day. The Reds are obviously off tomorrow before they come back Saturday at 4:10 to Great American Ballpark, where Nick Lodolo makes his season debut against the legend Justin Verlander. So if you want to get a little bit of a deeper dive into opening day and further this conversation, make sure you check out Jeff Carr and Steve Offenbaker today on the show as they all dive into this on Locked On Reds, and as well will be here tomorrow. I will be back Saturday, probably around this same time after they face the San Francisco Giants in game 2 of the 3-game set. Hopefully we're having a better conversation, talk about the Reds' first win of the season. But on behalf of everyone, this is Locked On Reds. Everybody, thank you so much. I will see you guys Saturday.